know what it is now. Boys and girls of the podcast world. Matt and Tyler on the mics. They're gonna stay here until they agree. They're gonna stay here until they agree. Oh, thank you for listening. This show's called Until We Agree. Oh, thank you for listening.
Thank you, Hutch. Fire as always. This is Matt from Matt and Tyler from Until We Agree. Welcome back to another episode. It feels like we do this a lot, but we have to apologize again. We're very, very sorry, and we have a specific group that we need to apologize to. Last week, we talked about British people because we got some listeners from the United Kingdom, allegedly. And I actually mistook them for the same people as people from Ireland. And so we need to apologize to them. I've come to learn that there was actually a pretty severe conflict between Ireland and Britain that didn't go so great. So I would be apologizing if British people were real. But that's hard to do. So
yeah, it'd be like,
I don't think I'm going to, actually.
No, you don't need to.
Yeah.
Because it'd be like apologizing to Game of Thrones characters. They have the same accent.
Right.
They're fictional.
Yeah.
They don't exist unless they're within our TV sets.
Right, exactly. So I don't know why I got so much pushback on that. But we're going to keep moving on because until we get some actual hard evidence, let's just not live in fantasy land. This is a real serious podcast, and we're going to keep treating it as such. So Tyler, welcome back to the show. How are you doing today?
I am doing okay.
Oh, just okay?
Yeah, I mean, I'm doing good, but I've been eating healthy for a week now.
Oh, gross.
And
why?
It sucks. Like, I hate it.
Why are you doing that?
I don't know. I just thought it'd be nice.
Is it?
No, it's not nice. It's like I want pizza and I want chicken tenders. And
be straight up with me.
Yeah, what?
Do you actually feel physically better after
Yes.
eating healthy?
Yeah, I
you
feel
actually?
incredible, actually. Yeah.
No way.
No, I feel all definitely all my senses are heightened.
Okay.
That might be a gross over exaggeration, but
what
I
senses
feel better.
What senses specifically?
What's the sense where you're awake?
Are you stickier? Like where you're what? Where you're awake?
Yeah, no, I just mean like I woke up early this morning, but I didn't feel tired. I feel like that has something to do with the food. Was I hungry? Yeah, but I wasn't tired.
Did you sleep last night?
No, I did, and that's what the part where I
think
woke up.
Yeah, I think sleeping would help on that. Yeah,
I know, but like I feel like sluggish after I eat like a big meal before I sleep. I think.
Sure.
There's only one way to find out, and it's to have some pizza tonight.
Yeah, it's time to get unhealthy again and just
we'll
report
see.
back to us next week.
We will see. No, we'll see for sure.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. How are you?
I'm doing good. We do have some news to share. Kind of a hard week staffing wise for us. We are trying to start a business. That's a whole different story. So that's one staffing issue. If you want to give us money to start a business, let us know. We actually have some pretty solid ideas. So we're open to investors right now. But the other thing, from an Until We Agree standpoint, again, the business is really, really solid. So you don't want to miss out on this opportunity. But from an Until We Agree perspective, we lost our intern. I'll say it. She quit.
Probably for the best. Unfortunately, probably for the best.
I think it's good for everyone to move on. We're growing, and she has her own path. So you won't be hearing from the intern anymore. Not that you ever did, but we're gonna have to keep moving forward without her. Hopefully, she still listens to the show. But yeah, that was a big loss for us. But something tells me we're gonna be okay.
Yeah, no, I don't think it's gonna make a dent.
Okay. So why don't we get into the episode today? This is we're hoping to be a pretty classic episode of Until We Agree. Maybe some hijinks and shenanigans. Getting into these debates. But first, we have what we call Tyler's Pop Culture Corner. Tyler, why do we have this segment?
Well, because that one episode we did Drake and Kendrick, and there was an update.
Oh, okay.
And so I just felt like it'd be important to note, you know.
Sure. And I have not been keeping up, so this is going to be kind of my breaking news as well.
Okay. Well, so I don't remember what date it was, if you can believe it, but Kendrick Lamar had a concert. I think it was Saturday. And he basically just had all the people from, West Coast, California, LA based rappers out. Had like a huge, I don't know, 3-4 hour show. He wrapped it up with the last hour and a half, performed all the songs against Drake, but then also just his hits. So it was a great show. I watched it. But yeah, he
was Drake there?
No, I doubt he was invited. And LeBron was there.
He could have gone on Ticketmaster and got a ticket.
He probably could have.
No
I
way,
don't know if
LeBron.
that's his thing. LeBron was there though. Which LeBron's been on stage at Drake's show.
Wait, from the Sprite commercial with Drake?
Yeah.
No way. Wow.
Yeah.
Is he switching teams?
He has. I think he's flipped. Yeah.
No way.
Which I would too if I were LeBron James.
What has Sprite taken a stance in this whole thing?
I don't think so.
Suspiciously quiet from Sprite.
Yeah, I haven't seen anything from Sprite, which is weird.
Yeah.
I've been crushing Sprite Zeros though. That being said, so he's been filming a music video around LA, but this concert, his set opens, he does Euphoria, which if you remember was the first one he dropped against Drake. Then he does, a bunch of his songs, and he finishes off with Not Like Us, the last one. That's like a West Coast banger.
Okay.
5 times in a row. He did it 5 times in a row.
Did people like that?
They loved it. The crowd was going insane. He let the crowd sing the A minor part every single time. It was hilarious.
Uh-huh. And you mentioned Euphoria. Was your girl Sydney there?
I don't think so. It was
fan of the show, by the way.
Yeah, fan of the show. We're supposed to keep that secret, but we'll let that slide to the swans.
Sorry. Yeah, she's one of our web browser women.
Yeah. But yeah, no. Not that, which Drake is a producer on Euphoria. That's where that comes from. You know that,
sure.
Right?
Yeah.
No, okay, but anyways,
we've been over
the Drake beef. We've been over the Drake beef. But a second pop culture corner topic, Sabrina Carpenter. Now, do you know who Sabrina Carpenter is?
Oh, I do. You know why? She was kind of in the center of the High School Musical, the series beef that I was super into.
I knew that would be the angle that you know her as, but you definitely have heard her like.
Oh, I
songs.
have. Have you heard Driver's License though?
No, I did when it came out 4 years ago.
You would love Driver's License.
No, I've heard it, and that was like 4 years ago.
Mm-hmm.
It's a great song. Don't get me wrong.
She was the blonde girl. She was the blonde girl. Isn't that crazy?
She was and is.
But yeah, no, she's crushing right now. It seems like
she is crushing, and also crushing on Barry Keoghan. Have you heard of Barry Keoghan? I recently learned his last name is not Keegan, it's Keoghan.
No, I mean, I guess I've heard the name, but I don't know anything about him.
He's in Saltburn. Have you seen him in Saltburn?
No, I haven't. What's that about?
I don't even want to describe it. It's disgusting.
Okay.
But it's a very good movie. He's like in love with Jacob Elordi, and that's as far as I'll go.
Okay.
Very good movie though. Anyways, there's like some drama because people are like, "What's going on here?" Because like he like left his wife and kid late last year, and then like 2 months later, he's in a relationship with Sabrina Carpenter and touring the world with her while this kid's like just home alone.
Sure.
So it's like not great, but do I know him personally?
Did the wife and kids know he was leaving them for like? That's a quick turnaround. Did he tell them?
That's a quick turnaround.
Maybe is he just working on her tour? Like what's Sabrina's relationship now?
No, like dating for sure.
Oh, okay.
He's definitely not on the crew.
Okay. Yeah, I don't know this Barry guy, so I don't know what Saltburn is either. So I didn't know what his deal was. Okay. So
yeah.
He's a celebrity.
He's a boyfriend, I'm assuming. For sure. Yeah, no, I mean I guess like you probably like celebrity's a bit much. I mean, he's no like Johnny Depp.
Sure, who I am familiar with.
Which I don't know.
Can you dissect all of the Amber Heard Johnny Depp trial for me really quick?
I followed that way too close when that was happening because I was working from home at the time, and so on one screen I just had that case on live stream all the time.
What was one of the big points from that?
The big points. There was one time it was alleged that Amber Heard made a boom boom on Johnny Depp's bed.
Well, I mean, we've all done that at one point in our lives.
On Johnny,
Not-
you've done it on
not-
Johnny Depp's
Not
bed?
on Johnny Depp's bed, but just in general. Like I was a baby at one point.
No, sure, but like it just feels mean to do it to somebody you like are with.
Yeah, and what? She was probably 32 when she did.
Yeah, you're a bit older for
Yeah.
sure. Diapers
Yeah.
are not in the equation. Maybe they should have been. We wouldn't be talking about this mess. But
There's probably a good sponsorship
classic
deal in there
bathroom
somewhere.
Classic bathroom story. Hutch is gonna
Yeah,
love
play the
that.
Hutch music really quick.
You know what it is?
But yeah, let's get out of pop culture because I thought I knew more about it this week, but I really don't. And all I've seen, because for some reason, I don't know why, Swifties are gonna love this, but my ex Twitter, let's be real, Twitter timeline is just Taylor Swift and how Travis Kelce was on stage with her last night.
Mm-hmm.
That's all
And
it is.
What I would love to do, if I could have 30 to 40 minutes on this show, that's great. And we shout out the Swifties, shout out Taylor and Travis. If I could have, like 30, 40 minutes to dissect the whole Joshua Bassett, Sabrina Carpenter, Olivia Rodrigo drama, I could probably do that.
Yeah, maybe in a few months, years. We'll
Okay.
see. Maybe next time one of them drop, I think maybe that'd be a good time to do
maybe,
that.
or maybe that's our New York. Can that be our New York episode, our special when we get to 10,000 followers?
I feel like we'd want to make that episode good.
That's
So
fair.
So maybe
Okay.
not that, but we'll
Okay.
we'll play around with the idea because
Sure.
I think some people might want to listen to that. Maybe.
Yeah, no, I don't think it would be our New York special. That one we will have to make a little bit more special to us. But yeah, thanks for letting me know that two people are dating. That was a good use of the last 5 minutes. So that was really cool. But why don't we get into why the people listen? Since day one, people have been saying, wow, one of you is really good at arguing and baiting. The other person is Tyler. So what we're gonna do is
Well,
we're going
nobody
back
says
to
that.
we're going
Nobody
back to the
says that.
basics, and you're gonna get a chance. You're losing in the polls, still are, for the first
Well,
time
wait,
ever.
we need to talk about that because I voted for you in the poll.
We're not counting. Okay, yeah. Last week's was like a little fun poll. That one doesn't count towards the rankings. I'm only up by one still. But yeah, anyone on the polls can go. If you're listening on Spotify, click over and vote on the poll because this is a debate episode, and we want to hear from you who you think won this debate.
Yeah, we
So-
need to know who won this. Because this one really comes down to who's a better person.
Yeah, it could. But before we get to the debate of the day, we have our first debate of the day. And this one was one that I've kind of just been sitting on for a few weeks because it just kind of came to me. And I feel actually very strongly about it.
This
And
is
the
so
more I've talked to people,
stupid.
no, it's not. And the more I talk about it with other people, even when they debate me, the more confident I get in this. So me and
No.
Tyler haven't talked about this yet, but I've kind of been workshopping with other people just to like get the feel for if this is actually a debate or not.
I can tell it's stupid because I see we have an outline in front of us and I can see the take you're about to have and it's absurd.
Yeah, so you're wrong. It's not absurd, but here is my take. If you are even 1 centimeter above sea level, you are on a mountain.
Wrong.
Why not?
Why not?
Yeah.
Why you're not on a mountain even if you're 1 centimeter above sea level?
Mm-hmm.
Because a mountain needs to be higher than the average terrain that you're on. I feel like you can't just.
Well, it would be. If I'm a centimeter above sea level, I'd be higher than the average terrain by like a lot. Actually,
But what I'm saying is like if the city of blank is
name a city right now.
I'm not good at geography. If the city of Arkansas was,
well, okay. So this is a tough start to your debate. That's a state actually, but keep going.
I know that was well. See, I hate to have to dissect a joke, but I prefaced it by saying I was bad at geography, and then I said a state instead of a city on purpose.
I would love to hear the joke.
That was the joke. And
Okay.
You butchered it. You butchered it.
Sorry. Wait, say it again. I'll laugh.
No, Little Rock in
Ha
Arkansas.
ha.
Bro. You're gonna make me so mad today. Okay. So Little Rock, Arkansas. Let's just say I don't know what the how far above sea level it is. Let's just say it's 100 centimeters above sea level.
Okay. I think that's probably wrong, but okay.
No, yeah, I think it probably is. I don't know why we're using centimeters either, but
Well, it could be anything. I just wanted to make it clear that any unit of measure above sea level millimeter,
Definitely not
millimeter,
milliliters.
an inch. You could say anything. Anything that's any unit above sea level you're on a mountain.
No, because like it needs to be a elevation above, even if you're already above sea level. It needs to be an elevation above the average terrain in that area.
That's fine. That would just be another mountain though.
What, another mountain?
So like you can have more than one mountain.
So your argument is anything that emerges out of water is a mountain.
Yeah. And even sometimes stuff below water, then that becomes, yeah. And so let me put you on this for a second. Think about like the state of Hawaii for a second, which is built off of volcanoes, which are a mountain. Like, I don't think anyone would argue that a volcano is a type of like mountain. Even like to the simplest degree, people would say that. Everything in Hawaii existed because volcanoes erupted and came out of the ground, and then that became the land. And so when you're a centimeter above sea level in Hawaii, you're just on part of the volcano that's above the water. And in the same way, any land has come the same way. So it's risen above sea level. There's still land under the sea. Wait till you learn that for a second. So this land under the sea, once we get to sea level, becomes a mountain because it all is the same thing, but elevation changes is what makes mountains.
May I read the definition of mountain to you?
Yeah, please do. You always do this and you're always wrong.
A large natural elevation of the Earth's surface rising abruptly from the surrounding level.
Okay.
So it needs to be a large elevation change that rises abruptly from the level that is rising from.
That's fine. I'll say this. It's not even calculable how much difference changes between 1 centimeter above sea level and sea level. That's an intense elevation change.
That doesn't feel abrupt.
It is, because you're at sea level and then you're not.
But that's a yes or no.
So if you're at sea level, then you're not. Yeah. So you're at sea level, then you're not. That's an abrupt change. If you put a fish in the sea and then put it on land, that fish, I guarantee you 10 out of 10 times says that's a pretty abrupt change.
But what if there can be water above sea level?
Okay. That's not sea anymore. That's like a lake or a river.
And?
A pond, a puddle. Those can be on mountains. That can be water on mountains.
I mean, I guess, but I don't think you can just say that all land is mountain.
Because think about this. The Mississippi River starts in the mountains and flows down to the ocean. That's how things work.
Okay.
Mm-hmm.
And like, what's the point you're trying to make?
I'm saying that we can't just say water is like the differentiator between a mountain and not a mountain. Land is
That's what I'm saying.
No, land is a differentiator.
That's what I'm saying. But you're saying that
no, you brought in lakes, rivers, and streams for a second. And puddles and ponds.
But if water isn't the differentiator, why does it matter if it's 1 centimeter above sea level? Your differentiator is the water. Quite literally, it's sea level.
I'm confused by what you just said.
I'm sure you are.
Because it didn't make sense, right? Yes.
No, because you said, these are your words.
Uh-huh.
You said that the water is not the differentiator between mountain and not mountain. But in your definition of a mountain, the only differentiator is if it's above water or not.
But no, the only point I'm making about like rivers and streams is I will agree with you if you say that a river is not a mountain. I will agree with you every single time on that.
No one is arguing that a river is a mountain.
I'm glad we're on the same page there. Should we end the episode there? We agreed. No. What I'm saying is a river can be on a mountain, but the river's not the sea, right? A river is a river. So we're talking about sea level versus not sea level. Land versus sea. Not land versus any kind of water. Land versus sea.
Okay, but what does that have to do with like 1 centimeter above? Like, you're telling me land right above, like the beach is a mountain.
If it's above sea level, yeah.
Why? Like, you haven't given me a positive.
Because land comes from underneath the ground, right? So elevation changes all come from underneath the ground, underneath sea level.
Land comes from underneath the ground?
Yeah, because let me put you onto the crust, mantle, core of the earth. We have layers to the earth. The top layer of the earth is not even, right? And so, but it all is one big crust of land.
But you're saying land comes from below land.
Below the water.
Yeah, but earlier you said below land. I just want to make sure you clarify. You're saying land comes from below water?
Yeah, I guess. I don't know.
Do
I don't
you
know what I
how
said
do you know
earlier.
how land gets made?
Tectonic plates, I think.
And like how it's like volcanoes underwater push
Sure.
up, the land, and it spreads out.
And there's I would you agree that a volcano is a mountain?
A volcano typically is a mountain, I'd say.
Interesting. Okay.
What does that have to do with? What does that have to do with?
You just told me that elevation changes come from the tectonic plates and volcanoes. No. You just actually completely agree with me. That's actually crazy.
No, you're stating like something that's true and then making the most ridiculous argument out of it. Of course, like tectonic plates affect the land masses. That's how they move and how they shift. The tectonic shift. Have you ever heard of it?
No, but yes.
What do you mean no, but yes?
I'm not like well versed in what you're talking about.
The tectonic shift? Would you like me to explain it?
I don't think I couldn't give you a definition of what you're saying right now, for sure.
The tectonic shift is how like the tectonic plates move.
Okay,
and that
fine.
makes up Earth's crust.
Yeah, I can agree with that.
Okay. And so you're saying, here's my problem.
Right.
Like a mountain.
And just when you did say Arkansas was a city earlier. Anyways, keep going.
That was clearly a joke, and every listener will understand that. Because if something's flat, it cannot be a mountain.
Why?
What do you mean why? A mountain is something that's steep elevation change.
Sorry, I agree with that. I got a little confused, but I agree with that. I just don't think you're giving credit to the elevation change that happens below sea level. That creates the mountains above sea level.
But they're not mountains.
Why are they not? They're rising out of the water, rising out above the ground, above sea level.
But not at like some absurd rate. Like if let's say you went to the beach and pick a state with a beach.
Arkansas.
Okay, let's say you go to the Arkansas shore, and as soon as you stepped in the water, let's say you didn't float, you plummeted 600 feet. And yeah, sure, we can maybe have some talks about that being like a weird mountain.
It's crazy that you agreed that Arkansas is a coastline city or state, by the way.
I was just going with your example.
Yeah, so you think Arkansas is a city on the ocean.
Call it Los Angeles.
And now you're trying to debate right now other things, and you can't even get that right.
All right, I'm not gonna walk into these traps that you're trying to set because I'm just having a logical. I'm having a logical debate, and you're being a clown.
I really thought I had a chance to lose this debate, and I'm feeling really good that I didn't again. It's good to be back on top.
No, because everybody that's listening,
right now, wow, I didn't think about what Matt was saying, but now that he's saying it, yeah, he's right.
I don't think many people will have that thought. I think many people will question maybe, I don't know, maybe you should be medicated, maybe go back to school.
Well, I actually am. I have Crohn's disease. I'm medicated.
Right, but I don't think that helps with the kind of thoughts you're currently having.
Don't need them to. I'm doing really good.
No, I don't think so. I don't think we're going to agree on this because mountains just simply can't be a centimeter tall, in my opinion.
Okay, that's a wrong opinion, but you can have it. So why don't we just move on? Man, it's good to be back. I forget how bad you are at this. This is fun.
It's hard to forget because it's not true.
No, it is. I started collecting clips and I was like, man, this guy, every time he starts talking, it's just like, it's a little too easy. And so I'm glad to keep coming back each week. And I'm glad the listeners keep coming back too. Follow us on Instagram Until We Agree, and follow us here on Spotify.
Follow us on podcast. Follow us on podcast. You heard that right.
Mm-hmm.
And also,
you're on fire today.
Because here's what I said last week. I said we need some 5-star reviews. And you know we got?
We didn't get a single one.
We didn't get one.
Please.
That's kind of mean.
Please.
Yeah,
we're
not
one to
begging.
Beg. Okay, we're one to beg.
We are ones to beg.
Please give us 5 stars if you haven't. We need it so bad. But again, we're not ones to beg.
I'm not eating until I get a 5-star review.
Yeah. I have to make spaghetti after this because it's Monday and Spaghetti Monday, but Tyler's not eating. I will be eating spaghetti on Monday. Anyways, here's the big debate. Welcome back to Until We Agree. Had a bad cut there. We're sorry. We're back here for the philosophical debate of the day. Tyler, we got a lot of words here. Can you give us kind of a gist of what this debate is?
Not only a gist, I'll read the whole thing.
Please do. That's what I was hoping for.
All right. So, it's called the lifeboat dilemma. Now, hardcore listeners may remember we did the trolley problem back in episode 1. It's kind of similar in the ethical dilemma sort of debate. But basically, this is the scenario. You're the captain of a lifeboat, and it can hold a maximum of 10 people. Currently, there are 11 people on board. If you don't reduce the number of people, the lifeboat will sink and everyone will drown. One person must be thrown overboard to save the rest. Now, I guess this debate comes with some points, so I'll just go over those. Because this is called the criteria for sacrifice. How do you decide who should be thrown off? Moral responsibility. As the captain, do you have the responsibility to make the decision? Value of life. Is it ethical to judge the value of one person's life against another's? And then survival versus ethics. Is it more ethical to allow the lifeboat to sink with all aboard rather than actively deciding to sacrifice one life, which is more of that trolley problem ethics.
Mm-hmm.
So I'll let you lead off, tackle whichever one or all of them if you want.
So my first qualifying question, my first thought was, what if we kind of all band together and collectively get rid of one person? Does that make sense? So it doesn't.
Like a vote.
Like a vote. Because I haven't explained it yet. No, not even that. I mean, what if everyone donates one different limb? Okay. So one person donates an arm, one person donates the other arm, one person donates a leg, one person donates another leg, one person donates their entire torso. And
Yeah,
one
the
person
torso. The torso might be a problem. I think after the torso, it's kind of just mindless sacrifice of other limbs.
Mm-hmm.
For
I guess
whoever donates head and torso, at that point we should just maybe pick one of them. And
I was thinking 2 different people would donate both, so maybe. But yeah, I guess
that's what I mean, though. If somebody donates head and
issue.
if somebody donates torso, we should just pick one of them and just get them out.
Yeah. And then we just have 4 other people.
Because now you just have limbs.
Yeah,
for no reason.
We're in a survival scenario with 4 people recently amputated on a raft. I don't know how effective.
By the time you get back, you have what would be, I guess, 9 amputees and 2 dead people that are missing key organs.
You know what? You're making a good point. I'm gonna retract my stance. I have a new stance.
That was quick.
I'm gonna donate. No, not donate. I'm gonna sacrifice the most able-bodied person besides myself, obviously, because I'm the captain.
What? Let him try to swim or something?
No, I just don't want there to be a power struggle. Because I think people would look at me and look at him or her and say, this person's probably more qualified to lead us through a survival scenario. And I wouldn't be about that. I want to maintain my position of power above all else.
Okay.
Because I do think I have enough tools to help.
Sure. Yeah. So I guess you're answering the first part. How do you decide who? And you're basically just saying on usefulness, if they're the most useful, you're throwing them off.
Yeah, I'm getting rid of them to allow myself to be elevated higher. And that also kind of tackles the one that's talking about the captain's ethics, I think. Because the captain goes down with the ship. He doesn't get thrown off the ship, right?
Yeah, if you were thrown off the ship probably goes down because there's no one to captain it now.
Right, exactly. And that wise, able-bodied person would not be me. So I can't have that. I need to get rid of them immediately.
Interesting.
So that's my answer.
So your answer is to find the most
unless it's like
person.
An old person. Ugh.
Just an old person would be off for sure. And just because, and let me get this right, because
that's the root of it, yeah.
Okay.
Okay.
That makes sense too.
Yeah. Okay, what's your take?
I mean, I've been thinking about it because I mean, I don't know. Like at first I was thinking, oh, maybe we do like jump off and sacrifice ourselves as the captain, right? But then I think that just kind of is a cop out. And so what I would say,
it's totally against pirate code too.
Right, it's against pirate code, and
Yeah.
that's most important.
Mhm.
What I would say, it's tough because, like, I see where you're coming from with the able-bodied thing, and you just throw the most fit person off. But
The
I
liability, yeah.
almost don't want the responsibility, so we're taking it to a vote, and I'm not in the vote.
So you're elevating to a god status,
Yeah, I'm saying more of like a
untouchable.
yeah, or we could play a game like rock paper
Oh,
scissors and
okay.
just like a tournament, because
Squid Game, yeah.
then it's more of a, I don't know, it's more fair. I think it's luck or skill if you know how to play. But another thought I had, like, is it really that hard to swim for a little bit? Right. So what if
Are we in the middle of the ocean? Oh wait,
what if a bunch of people take turns swimming?
and you can maybe even do like a tether situation and just
That's what
drag
I'm
someone
saying.
along.
If somebody takes turns and like, we just take shifts swimming behind the boat or being dragged along behind the boat, and then you'll find the weak one when you try to get them back in the boat and they're not responsive, and then you just cut them loose.
And let's be real for a second. If a shark gets someone, it kind of solves the issue too, without any ethical issue on your part.
Yeah, no, I didn't do that.
I'm not in trouble at all.
Yeah, no, I'm not. I simply had them swimming, and it's not my fault nobody taught them to punch the shark in the nose.
Right. And again, everyone's swimming, besides you, of course. Everyone's swimming. So it's not like we put this person out there in a bad situation.
Yeah, let's say 5 minutes each, and we take turns.
Mm-hmm.
You only have to swim once an hour, pretty much.
Sure.
This sounds good.
Yeah, this isn't really... I think the debate should be the first one, if I'm being honest, for the poll. Because this is just the answer.
Yeah, I don't know. It's tough because I thought we'd have like a more ethically tough position we could take. But I think what's tough is we've never experienced something like this. So it's very easy to, and like you're not in danger at all as the captain. So it's like, who
right,
cares?
Yeah, you're fine. And probably the only reason you're on this situation to begin with is you're in a plane crash. And our guy Bjorn Dufly would never get us in this situation. So I'm not worried about this at all.
Right, a plane crash or a boat crash.
I guess there could be a boat crash. That's a great point. That's another reason to be in the water.
Which, if we're being real, a boat crash, like, have you heard of the Titanic?
No.
Really?
No, what's that?
It's a 1997 movie.
Oh, you're talking about the classic hit Titanic,
Yeah,
based
James
on
Cameron,
a
1997
fictional
movie.
story.
Yes, it's not real.
Mhm.
But there's a classic lifeboat scene / door scene. You know what I'm talking about? Okay, so you've seen the Titanic.
Yes, I've seen the Titanic.
Okay,
The movie, The
so
Titanic. I haven't seen.
Right.
I'm confused. Yes, Titanic.
Well,
I hate I hate Titanic, by the way.
the real
Not the
Titanic.
Titanic. I hate
When people
Titanic.
go try to see that, bad things happen.
Mm-hmm.
So, yeah, no, but the movie Titanic, it's like a 4-hour movie.
That's the
but-
thing that gets me. It should be like an hour and 46 minutes.
Right.
That movie
Why?
insisted upon itself like crazy.
What does that mean? That was a crazy sentence you just used.
They put in, okay. The first time I watched this movie, I watched it on DVD.
Okay. Yeah.
They put an intermission on the DVD.
VHS for me, but whatever. Yeah.
Sure.
Yeah. No, I had to have had
is
two
that not-
VHSs.
Yeah, is that not
Part 1 and part 2.
ridiculous for a movie?
I mean,
And I'm so glad we're talking about Titanic today because I hate Titanic so much. The plot of Titanic is ridiculous. You know why? So Jack and Louise, what's her name? Lois.
Rose.
Jack and Rose are they're in love now. They're fully in love. They just did that thing in the car, and then they're on the deck of the Titanic.
Wait, what did they do in the
making
car?
out. It doesn't show it. It doesn't show it. But I think they were. I don't know. Were they vaping? Because they got all foggy in the car.
I think they were vaping. It was
They must have been-
1912 or so. Yeah.
Yeah, they must have been vaping. But they come up onto the top of the deck. This is not a spoiler alert, but it is a spoiler. But this is
You've seen the movie.
It's the third highest grossing movie of all time. If
27
you haven't
years
seen
old.
it at this point, yeah, it's on you. So they're on top of the deck making out. And the two people who are supposed to be watching for icebergs go, hey, look. They're adult men, by the way. Adult men go, look at what's going on down there. And they take the binoculars that are supposed to be looking for icebergs, and they look down at two adult people kissing. They stopped their entire job to watch people kiss. Is that not the most ridiculous thing? Oh, I hate it so much. And that's the reason Jack and Rose are the reason the Titanic sinks. That's how the plot of that movie goes. And it makes me furious. I hate it so much. And then you had to watch it for 5 hours to see the end of it when you're already mad halfway through. I hate Titanic so much.
But it's a cool shot, like when the boat's like ripping in half and stuff.
It has its moments.
And that guy jumps off and hits the propeller.
Yeah, and I heard that wasn't even scripted. That was improv. That guy just chose to do that on his own. I hope he's okay. No, it has its moments for sure. And the thing is, the Titanic, the shipwreck, I am so fascinated by. I think it's so interesting. Not enough to go in a sub driven by an Xbox 360 controller, but enough to be like pretty fascinated by it. But yeah, why were we even talking about this?
Because the whole lifeboat situation.
Oh, yeah, right. Why did we start talking about it though?
I think I was talking about the lifeboat situation on the Titanic and how Rose didn't have enough room for Jack. And like, I don't know, I guess what I was getting at is that we're way more ethical than Rose.
That's true. She just took her own way and said, sorry, Jack.
Yeah, which, hey, if that happened in real life, you know, I guess we'll never know, but I just lost my train of thought completely.
Me and you on that little door that she was laying on, we would get on that door together and we would fit just fine.
I know, and it'd be cold, so we'd have to like, I don't know, like cuddle up or something.
I don't know either. Yeah, we'd had to cuddle, but not, just for warmth.
But it's just silly to think that, I don't know, like if you're the captain of a lifeboat, right?
Mm-hmm.
Which, by the way, do lifeboats have captains?
I think on a ship like Titanic, they do. On a big ship, they probably should. There should be someone assigned to each boat to captain it.
Okay, so let's say that's our job. What do you think our jobs are on the? What are our jobs on the ship though? If we're
well, that's what I was just thinking. It's probably like you're like a busboy or a waiter or something.
Right, you're just like a random staff member, and now you're the captain of a lifeboat.
Yeah, but
that's
again,
a big responsibility.
You've earned the right though, and it sounds like we're both willing to take it on. So I'm not worried about it.
I'd rather have 10 people make it back, including myself, than 11 people die. And that's where I'll put my name on that.
Yeah, that's a fair place to be. So cool. Yeah, vote on the poll. Not for this question, but this was a great discussion, no less. And I'm glad we had it.
We don't like the Titanic for whatever reason.
I could do a 12-hour podcast dissecting the High School Musical the series drama and just hating on the Titanic. I could solo that.
You don't like the part where he wins the ticket in poker or whatever the game was, and then he goes and dies?
That's the best part of the movie.
When he dies?
No, when he wins the ticket.
Oh, okay. Yeah, it's kind of fun.
Yeah. No, I'm not saying I am. It's the worst movie I've ever seen.
Wow.
Yeah. So, that's it for that debate. If for the right price, we won't do this on this show, but I will. If you pay me, I will set up a call with everyone who buys into our payment plan, and I will do a 12-hour podcast on my own, just talking about those two things. So reach out to us on Instagram if you want to be involved in that, and we're happy to do it. The price is $5,000 a head though, so just be advised on that. Another thing you can do on Instagram, you can leave us Q&A questions. You can leave us questions there, and you can leave us questions on Instagram. No, that's what I just said. You can leave us questions on Instagram. I'll say it one more time. You can leave us questions on Instagram at Until We Agree, and on Spotify on this episode's page. Click over and tell us what we want to debate next. We love to hear from you guys, and you have a chance to be on the show. Tyler, who wanted to be on the show really bad this week?
Well, we got messages, and I've kind of been hearing it, to be honest, from a listener named Anusha. She's been kind of hounding us, honestly, to be on the show since
Borderline harassment.
one of the first episodes, and we were waiting for a topic that felt right, and then we were gonna have her do a bad first date, and so we were gonna
because
have that
she
clip.
threatened us this last week, and we were like, fine, we need to get on the show for anything.
Right, and so I can go check my message to get the transcript, but basically just said, yeah, can I be a guest next week? And then I said, yeah, we'll figure out the topic. And then she said, thank you, I'll be waiting. So it's recording day, obviously. We are currently recording.
That makes sense.
You know who has not sent in their clip after I was, pretty clear with what we needed for the clip.
For someone who, again, has been hounding us to be on the show.
Threatening
It's not just
us.
someone we're like, yeah, it's getting to a dangerous point, and so this is just for our own safety. We're doing this, and here we are.
Yeah, so why don't you go ahead and play what we got?
All right, here's Anusha. Oh wait, that's right, that was it. She sent us nothing.
After begging to be on the show, harassing, threatening us, calling us the meanest names you've ever
My
heard.
family,
such as,
my family's scared.
Yeah.
Wait, what were they calling? Such as what?
Buffalo legs.
Oh no, that's no. What
Yep.
else?
Just like some mean names.
Yeah. But you know who probably wouldn't leave us high and dry like that? Noah.
Noah.
Yeah.
And we don't have a Noah clip this week, but I would go out on a limb
Mm-hmm.
if I live call Noah right now.
Yeah.
What should we ask him?
So dependable. Let's make it so clear. This is gonna be really funny if he it's his first anniversary today. I just saw that on Instagram.
It is.
And if he takes time out of his day to answer this call and be on our podcast, that would be so funny.
What are we gonna ask him though? We need to have a topic ready.
Let's just do the classic as a bucket of hole.
Yeah. Yeah. Let's see what
That's kind of
Noah
our
thinks
cornerstone
about
debate.
that.
Yeah. So give him a call. Let's see what happens.
It's ringing.
While Tyler's doing that, I'll again remind you, we need 5 stars on this podcast so bad. We appreciate all the love we get on Instagram and on this show. But again, it shows really well when we have those 5 stars, because we had that hater give us that 1-star review, which tanked us. So again, we're not begging.
Your call has been forwarded to voicemail.
All right.
Oh no.
Then again,
okay.
screw Noah.
So
Screw
Noah's
Noah.
a clown. Noah's a clown and undependable, and he is the nemesis of the show, the biggest rival. Everything you can say about Noah is bad.
That was mean. I thought he was gonna be ready and just waiting by the phone. He knows we recorded this on this
Right.
day around this time.
Yeah. No, I'm so out
ashamed.
on Noah.
I'm
It's
ashamed.
crazy.
I'm ashamed.
Until
But-
he wants to send another clip, then he's welcome to do it, of course.
Yep. And if he calls back during this podcast, I will answer.
Yeah, for sure. He wouldn't let us down twice, so I'm sure we'll hear from him before the end of the episode. That being said, we have only one Q&A question left, so he better get to step in. Riley wants to know, how do I resign from a job?
That's a great question. You're asking the wrong person. I've never resigned from a
Well, you involuntarily resigned, right?
involuntary resign. Yeah, and basically the way you do that is you have to work for a company that is preparing for a round of layoffs, and then just kind of roll the dice.
Sure.
So there's that, but I'm sure we can come up with some better ways. I mean, how would you, let's say you're in a company that you don't like,
Yeah.
and you've had it up to here. My hand's really high, by the way.
Okay.
Where would be the point that you would say you need to resign? And like, what are you given 2 weeks notice? What are you doing?
No, I think you should be real evil about it. Because at the end of the day, they're going to be evil to you. If they want to involuntarily resign you, involuntarily resign them too. Why not?
Yep. I was expected to work for 4 days after I got the news that I was involuntary resign.
Which is crazy. And they said, if you don't do this, we're taking away your severance. And so it's like,
so I had to take vacation, but it was
Uh-huh.
interesting.
Yeah. So take vacation on them back. I think that's what you should do. Frankly, just stop working. Because then if you don't tell them you've resigned, if you don't tell them you've resigned, you can keep getting paid at that job, and then maybe you have another job lined up, and you can start working that job, and the other job is still paying you because they don't know you've quit yet.
That's a great strategy.
Yeah. Then you got 2 jobs.
So your answer was to not resign.
Yeah, my answer is to not resign. Just keep collecting the paychecks until someone notices.
That's a great strategy. I think there are actionable things like time theft or something like that you can be sued for. So I think we would definitely need to kind of watch out for that. It also depends on what kind of position this is, because if we're talking like if we're working, at a big company, you're gonna have to go up the chain of command, talk to a manager, figure something out, put in your 2 weeks, take a vacation. But if we're talking a restaurant, just don't show up anymore.
Yeah, that's what I did at Dunkin' Donuts.
Yeah, we know.
And the best part about that is they actually let me keep the apron and the visor, which I thought was really cool. That was the best part about that job.
Did they let you keep that? Or
yeah.
Did you ask if they needed it back?
Well, I actually called and I said, "Hey, I'm gonna resign. I know I've only been here for 4 days, but I need to step down." And they said, "Okay, no problem." And I said, "I'll get everything returned to you soon." And they said, "Okay, sounds good." And I kind of interpreted "soon" as a relative term.
Right. Soon.
I have intentions. I still have intentions of returning it.
Yeah, soon in a corporation's lifetime is really making.
Yeah.
In the grand scheme of numbers.
Mm-hmm.
When you're looking at time.
Okay.
The universe has been around 14 billion years?
I wasn't there. I don't know.
Is that right?
I couldn't tell you.
I believe that's right.
The intern quit too, so she can't even research that for us. Yeah.
But what's even 60 years in that?
I don't know. 60 years, I guess.
Yeah, and should we do 60 divided by 14 billion?
We definitely could. I don't think it would be a great number.
Let's see if I can even pronounce this number.
If I had to guess, it would be pretty close to 0.
Yeah, no, it's pretty close to 0. It's 0.000000004.
Yeah, and I'll be honest, I'm not even 60 years old.
That's pretty soon.
Yeah, if you think about it like that, and this was only 8 years ago, so you don't have to do that math. I'll take your word for it that it's close to 0 still. But yeah, that's the best thing you can do is just kind of stop working. I think is the best thing you can do. Cool.
Or wait, did we read that wrong? What if they want to re-sign to a job, what if they're a quarterback?
Oh, okay. Yeah, that's a great point. Maybe if you have a job like that, you should probably invest in an agent to let them handle all the paperwork for that, because that can get complicated. You don't want to get lost in the numbers and the words.
Yeah, no, for sure.
A lawyer, at least.
A lawyer for sure. I think there's some good ones out there, but I would be happy to take a cut if I'll just sign some papers.
Yeah, I don't think there's anything wrong with that. I think that's a legal thing you're allowed to do as a citizen. So. Yeah, so that's if you want to resign or re-sign. We're not sure. So, Riley, thanks for the question. Hopefully you got some good advice. And we endorse everything we said today. So, I think that's everything we have. Should we end just agreeing? Because it got a little volatile in the middle there because you were really, really stupid about the whole mountain thing.
Right.
So why don't we end on our favorite game, the word game, where we both say a word at the same time until we say the same word.
I like that game.
Okay.
Ready?
Are you ready? Yeah. Count us in.
1, 2, 3. Spaghetti.
Mountain. Okay.
Oh.
I got it.
You have it?
Yeah.
1, 2, 3. Monday.
Monday. Yeah. We'll see you next time. Hit it, Hutch.
This show's called Until We Agree. Oh, thank you for listening.